Okay, the old D140 John Deere doesn't have power, doesn't have a lot of power. It's an old tractor we've been using for a while. And there's my grass cutter right there. What we ended up having to do, we had to tie the grass thing up so that it wouldn't bog down. So that's why that's tied up. So what we're going to do, we're going to change the plugs, fuel filter. While we're working on it, we're going to change the oil. Okay? So these are the plugs to fit a D40. E320. We got this from Lowe's. We got two of them. We have some oil. We got Briggs & Stratton oil. It's just straight 30 weight. I like to use a 30 weight in a lawnmower instead of a multi-grade. You can use a multi-grade. I think it's 10W30, I think they call for, something like that. Of course, we got the wrench, pull the oil filter. This is to change the fuel filter. Of course, this is to change the spark plugs. Now, a little trick, if you happen to have some old Harley-Davidson oil filters. This is the old Harley-Davidson from my V-twin. Okay, it's a chrome filter. We're going to use that on the lawnmower. They actually will fit. This filter will fit with no problem. See, there's a little rust on there, and I'm not going to use them on my bike. A little old. The filters are old. I had several of them, and I put them on there, and the lawnmower will have a chrome filter. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is change the fuel filter. Okay, we changed the fuel filter. Okay. This was the old filter. It's never been changed since I got the lawnmower. And all we did, we took this, see the pliers? All we did was just take a regular pair of pliers and you just undo the clamp right here and slide it back. Undo this clamp, slide it back, and then put the new filter on. There's our new filter. You're going to lose a little gas, so I'd suggest that you get some rags or something and put under the lawnmower. And as soon as you get a little gas under it, of course, don't smoke. Of course, don't have any sparks around, and just wipe the gas up as soon as you can. Okay. So we got that done. So next, we're going to pull the plugs. All right. The plugs are right here. Okay. Catch me the wrench, Colton? Okay. Here we have a plug in there. This is a 5/8 deep socket. It's actually a plug socket. Hold the plug, don't drop it. Okay. It's 5/8. Slide right on. I'll pull the plug. Now we're going to examine the plug, and it's going to tell us a little bit about the engine. Like I said, it's never had the plug changed. And it's had the oil changed a few times, but never the plugs. Alright, that's of course two plugs. Alright, there's the plug. Now, it's got a little corrosion on it. Let me smell it. Should have a slight sweet smell. There's no oil on it, which is good. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to change those two plugs, and then we're going to get back. Now here's your oil filter right here. Now we're going to put the chrome oil filter. All right, let's change those two plugs. Okay, this is the old plug that came with the lawnmower. It's a Champion RC 12YC. Champion RC 12YC. If you want to go back with the original plugs. Alright, and these are the other plugs that we got. The E320s. Alright. And you notice the difference in the spark. The head for the spark. It's got like a double. Hold it. Got like a double thing on there. So let's see how that's gonna work. So you ready to put them plugs in there? Yep. Alright, we changed one plug and now we're fixing to change the other plug. And you can notice how dirty this engine is. So we're gonna pull that air filter under here. And I don't have another air filter. I don't think I might. If we have another one, we'll change it. If not, we're going to blow it out with compressed air, because that could be the problem also. But it's time to get the plug off it. Now look, see, it's going back and forth. Take your other hand and hold this. Hold the socket. There you go. Now spin it. Go ahead, spin it. Don't let it come back. There you go. Keep going. There you go. Just keep going until it comes all the way out. Whoops. Probably take it out by hand. Just undo it by hand for me. Plug a bit. That's for the helper. Let me see that plug. Let me see. A little oil on that one, is it? Smell that one. Okay. We're going to go ahead and put this plug in, and then we're going to... We got the fuel filter, and this is going to be the plugs. We're going to see if it's going to run. We got to warm it up anyway before we change the oil. And then after we get this plug in, we're going to start it, let it warm up. And of course, I think we're going to do the air filter next before we start it. Okay, let's put this plug in, and we're going to pull the air filter. Okay, it's a different type of filter than we thought. That I thought anyway. I definitely do not have one of these. So what I did, I took compressed air and I got a little sprayer and I sprayed from the inside out because the dirt comes in this way, it's sucked in this way. So I blew it quite a bit, a lot of dirt, a lot of dust on the bottom. And then I blew it from both sides, okay? And can you hold the camera on it? Watch what you want, right on here. Hold your camera on that. Okay, don't move it around too much. All right, what I did, from the inside, and the outside, mostly from the inside until I got most of the stuff out. And then I kept blowing it till it's absolutely nothing coming out. So we're going to fix it and go put it back on the lawnmower. Wiggle it. It's best to change this filter if you can. When I go to town, I'll probably get another one. But this will work for now. And all you got is just this cover right here with 2 screws on it. And it just covers the filter right here on top of the engine. And you just tighten it on down. This engine needs to be washed. I cut it sometimes in an area that has a lot of dirt, dust, and that's why this filter was clogged. It was definitely clogged up. Okay. Now we're going to start it up and run it a little bit. Let it warm up so we can change the oil. And while we're running it, we're going to see if it's... Hey, put our wrench over there. And our paper towels. We're going to see if that was the problem as far as the reason why it was running bad. Get off the tractor, let me start it. Here, hold paper towels for me. Good job. All right. Take those 2 plugs off of the thing right there for me. Thank you. All right. Let's see what we got. I'll tell right away if it's running better. Yep, running better. Oh yeah, it started right up. Definitely running better. It's definitely running better. It's definitely starting better. It's definitely probably with the plugs. I'm thinking it's the plugs, because the plug on the right had a little bit of oil on it and it would smoke every time I started up, and that tells me the plug was probably fouling out. It wasn't firing like it should, and it's cranking right up and running great. So what we're going to do now, we're going to start it up, let it warm up, and then we're going to, you always want to warm it up before you drain your oil. And we're going to show you how we're going to drain the oil. We have an oil pan down there. And of course the oil thing is on this side. That's where we're going to put. I don't know if the oil pan will fit under there. We're going to try it. All right. Let's run her. Let her warm up. And then come back. Change the oil. Okay, the bulky old pan. Oil pan, that's what's draining oil in my trucks and cars. It's too big. But I got this old bucket that I usually put oil filters in. And first thing we're going to do, we're going to take off the oil filter. Got a little oil filter wrench here. Okay, we just loosen it with the oil filter wrench. Take it off. Not too hot, warm. The filter, if you want to know, this particular motor, AM 1252 24C. That's John Deere number, AM 1254 24C. Like I said, we're going with a Harley-Davidson filter. That should make it run better also. The Harley-Davidson filter should make it fly. It's probably twice as big as that other filter. Give me the Harley-Davidson filter. There's a chrome filter on the ground. There you go, buddy. Look how much bigger this filter is. Look how much bigger it is compared to the John Deere filter. So it's going to filter a lot better. You have plenty of room under here. And it's the same. It's the exact same thing. So what we're going to do now is we're going to let that drain. And we're going to put a little oil in the filter. We'll fill the filter with oil, or somewhat, because we're not going to fill it because it goes in this direction, so it'll just leak out. But we're going to put a little oil in the filter and put oil on this gasket right here. And we're going to tighten our filter up, not put it too tight. We're not going to put it too tight. Remember that? And on the other side, okay, we're going to drain the filter on the oil on the other side, and just add new oil to it, and we're good to go. That oil is definitely black. It was ready to be changed. Okay, we'll go on the other side and drain the oil from the other side. Okay, we're on the right side of the engine, and this is where the oil drain plug is. Now remember, I did use that big oil drain pan before on this tractor, but the mower deck was pulled off. With the mower deck off, you can use a big drain pan, but that's fine. We'll use this. All this thing does here should be able to just unscrew it and pull it out. Not the whole thing, just the cap. There you go. I noticed this thing was loose. I could turn this by hand. the whole piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our pair of pliers, we're going to tighten this up, and we're going to let our oil finish draining down there. Okay. Of course, put our cap back on. That's all you have on there, just this little plastic cap. And it's got some little ears here, one on each side. And you have an O-ring. The O-ring is actually what keeps it from leaking. But you have these two little ears right here. And on your cap, you see this little place for the ears to catch. And it just goes on and catches the ears. Not real secure for a motor that's shaking and jumping and bouncing around, but evidently it works good. It's draining that oil. Okay, we should have plenty of oil to put back in. So we're gonna let that drain. We're gonna tighten this up because it's loose. I thought it was loose. I could turn it by hand. We'll make sure it's tight anyway. You can put a wrench on here if you want it. I'm gonna take a pair of pliers, make sure it's tight. And then we're going to add oil, put our chrome filter on it, our Harley Davidson filter. And we're gonna give it a test run and see if we alleviated the problem with it. Well, that's pretty much it. There's not a lot of service to these things, and as you can see, I don't service them often like I should. But as soon as that's drained down, we're gonna go ahead and do like I said, we're gonna crank it up and we're gonna give it a try. Okay, we're fixing to put our oil filter back on. Now this surface right here, kind of warm now. This surface right here is what makes you seal. The surface right around here. Okay. What makes the seal is the rubber right here on your oil filter. You can see I put a little oil on it, and I put a little oil in the filter. So you just simply put it on. Put it on there and screw it on. Like this, a Harley Davidson one, it goes right on. Where's our wrench? Okay. What we're going to do is, I'm not going to put it real tight. They recommend you put it hand tight, and then a little bit more. If you put it too tight, it's going to be hard to take off next time. Okay, that's good enough. There you go. John Deere tractor sporting a lawnmower. Lawnmower. I'll be able to talk. Hold on. Sporting a John Deere filter. The only lawnmower in town with a chrome filter. What you think, son? Huh? It's gonna run better now, huh? All right. All right. We're gonna go to the other side. Close off our. Let's see if it's finished. It's finished dripping. We're out here under some trees, under a slab. Give me some paper towel, I'm sweating. Give me some paper towel. Tear them off. Tear me one. All right. Now I can see. Thank you. Okay, it's just about down. We'll give me a pair of pliers on the other side. The pliers should be sitting. There you go. We use it for the filter. For the fuel filter. Okay. I'm gonna need two hands to do this. So we'll let that finish dripping. I'll tighten this down with the pliers. Just snap that little piece back on, put some oil in it. That's pretty much it. Okay, it's running great. We got the oil changed. Probably should have cleaned us more up before we made this video, but now when you undo your oil, okay, to undo it, you turn it to the right, and it'll undo. It'll come loose from right here. The little tits there will come off, and you can pull it off. Okay. I tightened this up. This thing was loose. So it might be a good idea to check that. She's good on all. She's running good. And all we did was clean the filter. We changed the oil, of course, and filter. We changed the fuel filter and the plugs. All right. To do all that, all you need is, of course, an air filter, which we didn't have. You need an oil filter, which you can use the Harley Davidson one if you happen to have an extra one. but these are very expensive. Just get an oil filter from Lowe's or John Deere. You're gonna need a couple plugs and a fuel filter, an inline fuel filter, and of course some oil. Now the wrenches, you're gonna need a tool to pull the filter off with. Oil filter wrench. This is a smaller type. 5/8 deep socket. This is actually a plug socket, so it has a rubber down in there and it holds the plug in. And a pair of pliers. And that's it. That's all you do. That's all you need. We got it done. She's looking good. She's running good. We're gonna clean everything. That looks like that's not a maintenance-free battery. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna clean that battery real good, and we're gonna see if they got water in it, if it's not maintenance-free. And then that's actually the last thing we're gonna do. Make sure the battery's good. And pretty much it, and it's running great. How we do it here, service our old tractor, John Deere, 48-inch cut, 22 horsepower. After running it for a while, of course we started it, we let it run, we let the oil filter fill with oil. Then we rechecked the oil before taking off. And after running it for a while, we went back and checked our oil, and we checked for leaks, any oil leaks. We have no leaks, all looks good, it's topped off. Now next, the only thing we got left to do is we're just going to take the battery, clean it, and make sure it's got water in it. And then we're done. Okay, we decided to do the battery. All we did to do the battery, we just popped these little caps off right here, this cap. All right, just pop both caps off. Now you don't have to have this, but we got a water. This is distilled water. You definitely want to use distilled water. But this is the battery filler. I'll put links to where I get this. I use this for all my batteries, all my lead acid. And the way this works is you just simply take it. It's got a plunger. It's going to push down on the end, and when you push it down, it's going to shoot water. If I can make it go down. You see, when you push it down, water comes off the end of it. And when it fills the battery up, it stops. I already did these. You stick it on there. Okay. Push it down. Okay, and it'll fill up. You do the next one. Push it down till it fills up. You do the next one. Push it down till it fills up. And you do all 6. There's 3 more under the other cap. And that's it. And they wasn't really low on water. They were down a little bit, but they had plenty of water in it. I had to take a flashlight and looked into it before I did anything. And they all had water in it. So all looks good. We kind of cleaned it up a little bit, which we should have done before we decided to work on it. But it's looking good. Everything's clean. Battery's good. Starting and running way better than it did before. And we got a pressure oil change. So we're good to go. How we do it here? Service on Lawnmower.